YouTube. Hiya. I deleted my last video because the quality was just too shit, I think. And even though I said some valid and sort of good points I wanted to get out there, every time I watched it back, I was kicking myself in the balls at how dark and shit it looked. So I'm trying more different settings on the camera. Hello, I've got a light just there. You can see it light up my hand, and it's fucking burning my eyeballs. But hopefully that'll bring a bit more sort of vibrance to the video, so you can actually fucking see me properly. And I've not got the big yellow mental thing I had in my head in that last video. Sorry, I deleted it. I know a couple of guys left comments. I will try and address those comments on this video. And just pretty much sum up what I said last time in case people missed it. All 5 of you. Basically, the video was about who knows about your YouTube channel. And I said a few things, some that when I watched it back I didn't agree with, which is weird. You know when you let your head rumble? And then you say stuff, and then when you think about it later on you're like, no, I don't agree with me. That's what I did when I watched that video. Basically, who knows about your YouTube channel? Dave, I will link a video below. That is the video that I got this idea from. Monkeyspaz5000 video. Oh god, I can't remember your name. The other Scottish chap who left comment on my video. My hat is on. Sorry, I forgot your name actually. But yeah, so who knows about my YouTube channel? Basically everyone. I don't feel the need to hide it. I treat it like social media. It's like my Facebook or my Twitter. It's not something you would necessarily mention to anyone for no reason. Like, you wouldn't go, oh god dude, I've not seen you in ages. I'm on YouTube, by the way. It would be something that came up in normal conversation. My family, I started doing pickup videos. And for my gaming stuff. My brother watched them. That led my mum and dad to become aware of them. And like I said in the last video, mum and dad don't really care. Dad's a bit more judgmental, but in a sort of like, just because he doesn't understand it way really, and never in a horrible way, just in a like, oh, bloody toys at your age. Yeah, sorry, I keep looking there because there's someone passes my door and I'm waiting for the post to arrive. Oh, speaking of post, when I did my last video I mentioned I was waiting for something and I've got it. Animated blur. Oh, he is so lovely. I'm going to do a video on him, to be honest. Anyway, so who knows about my YouTube channel? Mum and dad, all my friends, no one takes the piss, it's not a big deal. I think there is a point where it becomes a big deal. Like when you start getting notoriety, you do things because of your YouTube channel, like Thew, or like one of the guys I watch, Ashens, the guy that does he started off doing like the Poundland stuff and the sort of rip-off pop station gaming things, and he was cool. He's a bit less cool now, to be honest, and it's really weird because, you know, as someone goes up in popularity, you notice that the kind of, especially guys that start off dead creative or doing something quite unique, the more popular they become, the more you feel like they're in a rut, and it's like, shit, I better keep doing the same thing or people might stop watching me. And it's a shame because there's a couple of YouTubers I liked who have kind of fallen into YouTuber traps, and they're like, oh shit, I better do an unboxing video, I better do a loot crate video because oh, everyone's doing them, and you can tell it battles against their creativity, and it's just stop doing that, just make fun stuff. I mean, it's your life and if it's making you money, I suppose anything you should do to earn money, whatever. But yeah, so YouTube's not a big deal, I don't think. I mentioned as well, talking about Nosy, who done a video on do your parents know you're otaku? And I've still not checked if that's the right way to say that word. But basically it was a video about, and I got dead upset in the video, but it was a video about him talking about do your parents approve of you and do they know? And that goes hand in hand with the sort of who knows about your YouTube channel thing. Because both questions come with an undercurrent of guilt. And I don't see the reason for that. Because, like I've said, where the things that we love come in our life define who we are as people, I think. So if you put family above all else, then that defines what kind of person you are. If you aren't a family person, don't really want kids, and aren't that close to your family for some reason, whatever the reason could be, sometimes it's just the way it is, you've got space to prioritise these things, and that's what makes you, that's what defines you in some ways. Like I said in my last video, none of that is wrong, none of that is right. Whatever makes you happy should make you happy, and it's great, and as long as you're not hurting anybody, including yourself, go for it. Who cares? What you do, you should, no one else should, that's it. But there's this level of guilt when it comes to collecting things like, oh, that's a big fucking there's a level of guilt when it comes to collecting things like Transformers for some reason. Gaming's kind of the same, but because gaming's a sort of thing that everyone's grown up with, in a sort of more general sense, it's not looked upon as much, I don't think. Although I had a comment, I was talking, the guy whose video response this is to, Monkeyspaz. The bastard was one of those guys that scalped a few of those mini NES-like systems and fucking sold them on eBay at profit, which, fair enough, whatever. If you're gonna do that, I mean, you're harming the hobby, but whatever. Yeah, he posted that he'd made some money on that, and there was comments and stuff, and this girl who, you know, was going about, oh, my kid wants one of these, I don't even know what it is, it's for the 90s, and I was like, oh yeah, I've got myself in the bedroom. She's like, oh, it's not a time machine, you know. It's just, you know, you're not going to get any younger playing these things, but basically the sense of comment, I can't remember what it was. So it's something along the lines of, it's just a games machine, not a time machine. And that's the kind of judgmental attitude that you get when it comes to gaming or Transformers. People thinking you're trying to go back to your youth, or you're trying to pretend you're young. Well, that isn't the case at all. I can't pretend I'm young. For the past fucking 4 weeks, I've been barely able to move my back and neck. You think fucking playing Super Mario Brothers is going to make me feel like I'm fucking 10 again? Or whatever age I would have been. Is it 7 when it came out? No, it's not about thinking you're young again or pretending you're young again. I'm not going down to the arcades and fucking hanging, hey there kids, how about these computer games? That's the kind of sort of negative attitude or the negative connotations that people put on collecting what they consider immature things. This is turning into a slightly different video now. Whatever. Yeah. You should never feel ashamed for anything you're doing. I think when it comes to family and friends judging you on what you like, I think there's a point where you prioritise these things in your life, they do agree with it. So, like, if you're massively into Star Wars, click blah 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 blah, and you're in your 30s, some family and friends would be like, you're a bit old for this, do you know, I think you should be growing up a bit. Again, no one can decide if that's right for or wrong for you, except you. But I have seen instances where there definitely is cases where people do allow these things to become too much of their life. They use them as comfort zones, safe zones. They use them as places to fall back and hide in, and sort of, not excuses, but they use them as a way to shield themselves from the real world and not put themselves out there. And that's definitely, in my opinion, that's definitely the case in some of the people I've interacted with, I think. But the flip side of that is there are people whose lives are defined by these things, and if they didn't have them, their lives would be dramatically worse, and it would be a real detriment. If they never had these things to give them purpose and place, their lives would be really, really worse off for. So it's like a double-edged sword, a flip of the coin, like I said last time. So, but it's a balance. You've got to balance things in your life. You can't use one part of your life to hide away from the other part, I think. And so let's take the Nosey example. I don't know him as a person. I've watched some of his videos. He seems like a really, 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 really nice dude. He needs to look at the camera more. I've told you before, dude. But he just seems like a lad who's doing the same as us. He's got hobbies, he's got likes, he's got interests, and he does videos about them, and it's cool. I think his parents might be older. I get that impression. I mean, my parents are in their 60s, so I don't know how much older they're going to be, because he's younger than me. But, waffle. But he had this real sadness behind him when he was talking about it. Is that TV on? Sorry, I'm just going to turn it off. Hiya! Yeah, he had a real sadness behind him, and maybe he's got the kind of parents who were like, you're too old for this. Don't know his first name, John, I think. You're too old for this, John. My dad's a wee bit like that, but like I said, but he does it with a sort of like, but it's your life, and he doesn't judge me on it. Never to the point where I get upset about it. And even if he did, even if he came into my house and was like, you've got to sell all this shit, fucking grow up, you've got bairns, I'd just tell him to piss off, and that would be at the end of it. What are you doing? Cats getting involved now. Fucking hell, man. I thought I had the house myself, that's why I'm doing a video. Yeah, so now where does his sadness come from? Is his sadness because he doesn't, like, it breaks down into three things. How you perceive yourself, how others perceive you, and your perceptions of how other people perceive you. That make sense? How you feel about yourself, how other people feel about you and judge you on what you do and what your interests are, and because you collect these kind of things, and how do you see them as you, because sometimes your opinion can be really, I mean, you should never look at someone through, you should never look at yourself through someone else's eyes, because you're never going to see anything but a distorted image and something you don't like, to be honest. because you're judging yourself on other people's standards, and they don't have all the information because they can't tell what's in here. So judging your standards and your lifestyle on other people's opinions of yourself are only going to fucking lead to negative emotions and feelings, and like you'll see yourself through like a magic mirror, and it's not going to be horrible. So you should never do that. And if you do, you're just going to have a bad time because you end up trying to please people. And you're pleasing people who, that when you're not in their like line of sight, they don't fucking think about you. So 90% of the time, they don't even think that you exist. You know, you're not part of their world, but you're letting their opinions and their views on you like fucking cripple you. And it's just such a weird, bizarre thing. I know a few people that are like this, and it's such a weird thing to do. I'm a bit like, my head works far too much, and I get myself worked up. TF Nation this year really messed with my head, and I'm not sure why. And it set my self-confidence back years, but not for very long. I kind of adjusted and got over it. But I know people who literally run their lives based on what other people think of them, to the point where it's almost like they're fake people because they're not themselves. They're the shell they pretend they think other people want to be, and 9 times out of 10 people didn't even really want what they think they want. I'm not explaining it properly, that's just the way it is. I know plenty of people who are miserable because they're trying to make others happy. And I'm not talking about partners that they're with, or I'm talking about family and like friends and acquaintances and people that they're friends with on Facebook that they never see day to day. People that try to portray themselves as something to please other people, it's just crazy. And that's where the guilt for these things comes. Hang on, I've got a bit of food in my mouth as well. This is just a fucking shambles, hang on. And I'm back again! And I've lost my train of thought. Not doing stuff for others. Oh yeah, it's where the guilt comes along with. Because if someone said to you, what's your hobbies? And you went, oh, I play tennis at the weekend, I'm on a team and stuff. They'd be like, oh, cool. What do you do at the weekend? Oh, my hobby is I'm a race car driver, you know, I maintain and race old cars. Oh, cool. What do you do? Oh, I collect Transformers. They'd be like, really? Sometimes, not all the time. What's your hobby? Oh, I collect Super Nintendo games. They're like, oh right, you do realise you're in your 40s, yeah? And that's what I was going to say. I'm a bit like, I'm easily influenced by other people. I don't show it very much, but like, my head goes, no, stop being that person. And then other part of my head goes, shut up and stop listening to yourself. And then I'm like, yeah, okay. So TF Nation set me back. But what I was going to say was I learned about, at the age of like 23, 24, not to put stock in what other people think. And I'm not talking about your close people, the people that are in your heart, because obviously you have to consider them in everything you do, because you could hurt them. And they know you better than sometimes you know yourself, so you should listen to them sometimes. But when you've got like workmates, or friends of friends, or fuckers that you interact with on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, when they start affecting how you think about things and blah blah blah, that's just nuts. And I learned at an early age just to wash that off. Someone says, oh, you should hear what so and so's saying about you. I'd be like, and? Because what? I don't care about that person. Why would I let any of their life affect my life? Whatever. They can think of me what they want. It's only if the people that I truly care about are happy with me, then why should I care what anyone else thinks? Basically. So the guilt. This is a waffle video. What time are we on? 14 minutes. Fucking hell. I think I've pretty much said everything I said in the last video. The guilt thing, yeah. It goes along with people thinking that if you collect Transformers, or if you collect computer games, or that kind of thing, that you're somehow immature or not grown up. I've got a wife and a child, I've got responsibilities, I've got people that I worry about, I've got situations in my life that I have to face that are very, very, very not childish and very sort of mature and grown up, and I'd love to escape and back into being 10 years old and not have these worries, but it's just part of like how it is at the moment. That's what you grow up and you've got to deal with these fucking shit inevitabilities in life. And if I want to collect fucking toys as a way to escape, then I will. And you shouldn't judge me on it. I am immature. Love a good fart joke. But Sorry, the kid that now, whenever she farts, she always goes, and she looks at you and goes, "Whoa, pumped." And it's just the fucking best thing in the world. It cracks me up every time. Anyway, maybe I'm immature. Maybe I am. But collecting these things doesn't make you mature. Collecting these things is like, and there is the whole nostalgic going back to your childhood thing. It's a part of your safe, familiar part of your life when you never had the stresses you've got now. So it's like reaching back and just putting your fingers on that and touching that. And if it's a safe part. My childhood was great. When I think about Power Master Prime, and I think about that part of my childhood where I was sitting in my mum and dad's house on a Saturday, mum's at work, dad's making the mince and tatties, I'm sitting in front of the TV playing with Optimus Prime. That's a safe memory that nothing can touch. And if I want to, if part of collecting, sorry, I'm pointing in the background there. If part of collecting that shit makes me feel a little bit safe and a little bit warm, then it shouldn't be a bad thing. It's the same as if your childhood memories are your parents or your whoever, the people that brought you up, listening to Led Zeppelin, nothing but Led Zeppelin. It was every weekend, it was Led Zeppelin, and because of that, you love Led Zeppelin and you go collect them and love them and that kind of music. It's the same. There's the same reasons for it, but people wouldn't judge you. They wouldn't be like, "Oh, grow up. Led Zeppelin is fucking however many years ago." Whatever. What year are we in? Nearly 2017 years. I can't even work it. So there is that's why these questions, because you would never have like a community of like DJs doing YouTube videos saying, "So who knows that you DJ?" We wouldn't go like, "Who knows you play rugby at the weekends?" It's who knows you collect Transformers, or who knows you do YouTube videos, or who knows you collect computer games, because there's negative connotations put on it. Right, 17 minutes, I'm going to wind this up because I'm waiting for the postman, he's bringing me a package and I really, really want it so I can open it and be a child. Yeah, but I've got to do the housework and stuff next. It's probably why I'm making this video, so I have to fucking do it. Yeah, I definitely am immature. Oh well. No, you should never. So who does want my YouTube channel? Everyone. I tell people if it comes up in situational conversation, if we're talking about YouTube. I don't hide it from anyone. I don't feel ashamed of it at all. It's just another form of social media. Monkeyspaz makes the point about he doesn't really talk about his work because it can come hand in hand with a sort of judgmental guilt thing, is the fact that some people will actually consider you an immature person because of it. So he tries to keep it separate for his work life, which is fairly acceptable because, let's face it, it can undermine your sort of like credibility, because people will be able to take pot shots at you because of it, and so I can understand why he would want to keep it separate from his professional life. But I also believe that when it isn't, it won't be a big deal. People will just be like, "Oh," because he is kind of sort of, he's got a real, even though his videos he's really drolling, like he always looks like he's just coming down. He's like, "Oh fucking hell, man," but he's got a real sort of like attractive personality, I think's I kind of describe it. You know, people just like James. I don't know how to describe it other than that. He's kind of cool and stuff. Yeah, so I don't think it'll really affect if all his work makes found out. Whatever. I worked in Asda. Was the last place that I actually like. Cause I'm now a caterer. Before that I was at college, and before that was my last sort of real job, which was Asda. And people there knew I did YouTube videos, but if they took the piss, they did it behind my back. So I don't really know. But again, if they did, I don't care. At least they were fucking watching it. Yeah. So who knows? Everyone. Who cares? No one. Not even me. The guilt thing you shouldn't bother yourself with, because you'll have a hard time. You'll give yourself a hard time if you start looking at yourself through other people's eyes. I mean, the only eyes you should view yourself through are your own. That's why we have mirrors, because any other view you're going to see a distorted image of yourself, and it's going to make you feel ugly, and that should never happen. Never do it. Collect these things. Love Japanese cartoons. Fucking love playing Super Nintendo, but you're just a normal person like everyone else, and you love the things you love. What does it matter? Stop feeling guilty. Stop feeling guilty like I am for not doing the dishes and shit. Right, I'm off to do my housework, and then I'm gonna go and post some stuff that I've just this second remembered that I've got to do because I sold some stuff on eBay. Fuck! I've got loads more to do than talk to this camera. Right, okay. See you later. Don't feel guilty. Love you all. Oosh.